I'll be late to my own funeral. I don't know. That's just me. Alright, so my bad. I tried to do this from the normal location, and I was absolutely pouring sweat before I ever got anything set up. Just couldn't do it. So we're here now. Still, oh. What are you doing, drug sniffing dog?
What? Oh.
Huh? Hey, what are you doing?
Monster, come on. Monster. Come here.
Alright, I love you. Go with mom.
Monster, come on.
Go with mom. Go.
Come on.
Good boy.
Good boy. He's a good boy.
What up, Isaac? Ground pounder? What's up, Bert? First gen? How are we? Bad for you? The lighting sure is better in here. I think it's mainly the backdrop. I have that big ass steel sign, which is like a weird warm color, and it just kind of drowns me out when I'm out there. I see it back and I'm like, don't really like it. And I figured if this didn't work, I could green screen the back of it. What are you doing? Get. He's just gonna bark to be a jerk. So, I'm trying to think of if I had anything. I didn't have anything really that big for me this week. Last week I hit my truck with a top and put a huge dent in it. That sucked. But I don't even think I showed you guys that. But yeah. One of them spots where I was locked into an area that didn't have like any parking at all, electric wires, and we're right on a highway. And with my truck and trailer, it had to be like cockeyed just to fit into the parking spot and not be out in the road. And it's like a highway with no shoulder, right outside of town, where everybody drives like a bat out of hell. And in the process, I tipped the top over, and it hung up in another top a little bit, and then the butt end dropped out, and it swung all the way out and hit right into my window, and then down onto the door. It didn't break the window. Went down onto the door and put a huge dent in my doors. I think I gotta replace my door. I blame my wife. Don't tell her, but I do that a lot. Oh, John Bob, what's up, brother? Did 5 days of tree work, and I hated it. Can't believe you do it every day. Man, it's just miserable out there right now. Missouri is very nasty when it comes to our heat. The humidity is outrageous, and I'm sure some of those surrounding states are very similar too. It's it's an unbearable, hard to breathe in type of weather. Uh, Definitely takes some getting used to, and I'm sure a few months in here, I'll be used to it. But what up, Low Impact? Yeah, I'm at Buckingfest 2025 right now. I should go and go live with you guys. Uh, I yeah, I checked in. We'll start. You guys want to start with Buckingfest? We can start with Bucking. Let's get going here. 85 humidity and 103 degrees. Yeah. Got 2511 running after. Oh, sweet. 98 here. Holy shit. Yeah, ground pounder. Raining here. What's up, Albert? Installed a 3,000 pound pump today. Whew. Right on, brother. Can't wait to see the Pinkway ported. You porting a Pinkway? That'd be crazy. If you guys noticed, I posted a Dan. What's up, man? Not a whole lot. We haven't even really started yet. I have to do my normal. Well, we started the way we normally do. I start by apologizing for being late, and then we go from there. That's typical anymore. So, COVID, what's up? They run well ported. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So if you guys notice, I posted a video, a short, saying, "Is this true?" And there was a reason behind that. So if you guys remember when I first started doing this, no way, man. I'm doing paperwork. Paperwork sucks. You should understand, feel for me, work with me. Paperwork sucks. Show me your text. And then he came in with a whole bunch of, what are those? I don't even know what those are. I probably just like looked into the camera and had my eyes crossing. And I didn't want to. I'm in here because I didn't want to be out there. I would have got so hot that it would have been to a point I was about to like go shirtless, and I'm like, I'm not doing a live feed shirtless. I think I've done that before, and then I was embarrassed by some people that came into the comment section. And it took like one female to come in and start making me feel awkward, and I'm like, I'm out of here. On relationships between humans and aliens in the future. Well, I mean, I think some of y'all would be doing good if you could get an alien to have a relationship with you. So, I mean, but so I made that video, and the reason for that video is, if you remember when we first started doing these, I'm gonna kind of tune out of the live or the chat for a second so I can get rolling here. As soon as I started doing these, we were talking about metal and wood. What up, Tim? So he has some chainsaws. What it is he has basically, it seems to me, my opinion, is he gets like Holtz Pharma saws, has them put a sticker that he likes, he may ask them to put a couple different parts to make it look maybe a little different. You know, use these instead of these, or these instead of these. It's still the same, you know, looking machine, you know, or piece of equipment, tool, whatever you want to call it, chainsaw. And he calls them Pro Mag saws. Well, before that, he was calling them Noker saws. And there was at one point he's one of them guys that just blindly flows his way through anything. He doesn't know anything about chainsaws, but he's going to get in there and he's going to tell you that he basically does. And he's going to pretend to be an expert on it to try to sell you one of his chainsaws. So he's done that from the start. I don't even know if the guy knew how to start a chainsaw before he was selling them. But when you're doing something like that, you may be able to fib your way through some stuff. The problem is that as you learn along the way, you're going to contradict everything that you said beforehand. My suggestion for anybody would always be, if you don't know something, don't come into that conversation or that group or that trade and pretend like you do, because you're going to make an ass out of yourself. So at some point, he didn't really know much about his chainsaws. They weren't even really running good, brand new. He's having major issues. He sent them off to a guy, and the guy was going to do something to them, maybe port them, or I don't know what his plan was. He was going to do a bit of modding to the saws. And while that was going on, and his saws were with this guy, apparently, and this is what I want. I want Indiana Doug. I would, and the problem is, this is what, try to work with me. Some of you guys know Indiana Doug. I would like to get Indiana Doug on here and interview him, but the problem is, he's being sued right now, I think. So I don't know if he would be able to talk. While this guy's saws are gone, he's telling everybody on the internet that his saws are the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's obviously fibbing his way through a whole bunch of this, and no one really knows any different, so they're kind of listening at first, especially like homeowner type-ish. And so he's kind of fibbing his way through. But while those saws are with this other fella, Indiana Doug somehow gets one and opens the saw up to look at the cylinder and to see what the inners to the saw look like. I don't know if Doug got his own saw and was opening that and looking at it, or if This is what Steve, the metal and wood guy, thinks, that someone sent him one of his saws and he opened it up and he made a false. So Doug is being sued in a federal case apparently, and a bunch of others are being sued, including, and some of you guys know them, it's Fab Acres. I don't know his full name. Steve has been saying his full name a whole bunch here lately. I don't remember what he said his name was, but his channel is Fab's Acres, and he does a lot of chainsaw stuff too. So he's now being sued by Steve too. Steve is suing anyone who says anything negative on the internet about him, and he's lumping them all into this case, a federal case that is what he calls the chainsaw cult. And everyone is being thrown into this wild ass case. See, this happened like a year and a half ago, I think, and I thought it was over with. But just recently, I watched Steve's channel, and he is the everyone, according to him, has been served papers, and is being sued, basically for hurting his feelings. This is what. I'd get canceled. So this is what Steve is saying. So I would like to get Doug on here and ask him like, hey, did you get one of his saws and open it up? But the problem is, if I do that, then he could get in trouble. I don't know. I don't know what the real story is. I don't know if somehow he got Steve's chainsaw and did this video. The video, he didn't do anything nefarious. In the video, he basically opened the saw up and looked at it, and then showed what it looked like. What's up, Glim Reaper? What is that? Something, 36-inch bar, something, medium grit. Am I right, folks? 100%. 100%. So, yeah, I'm curious. Anybody who knows Doug, see if you can get a little more backstory. Is Doug literally being sued right now and has to get an attorney and everything? All because Steve is mad at what he said about his chainsaws? I don't know. And apparently Steve is saying that he has the right to sue all these people on behalf of a Chinese chainsaw manufacturer. That manufacturer has given him authority to sue these people in the United States about something that was made in China. So I don't know. Not a whole lot. Reaper, what's going on? As I said, child camp. You're crazy, man. At Buckingfest, he probably is. All right, so let's go there. Keep your ears peeled if you want to see some entertaining stuff. Fabs and Steve are going at each other right now. The reason I posted my video is because Steve, at one point, probably it's been maybe a year ago, Steve said porting is also a cult. Anybody who ports a chainsaw is also in a cult. Ferlin, what's up? So, yeah, anyone who ports a chainsaw is also in a cult because he was mad and he was saying that his saws are just as good, if not better, than anything that anyone else has. And he says porting is a myth. It does nothing good. It messes your chainsaw up. Well, now, currently, like I told you, Steve's learning as he goes. He's now trying to sell people a ported chainsaw. Port coal for life, yeah. I mean, what it is we are very small niche groups that look out for each other. We're not talking trash to talk trash a lot of times, but those guys, if they see a builder out there is ripping people off, taking people's money off the internet, because it's easy to do. I could sit here and be like, oh, I got you guys, send me your money, I'm gonna make your chainsaw so good. That happens all the time. And so these little groups, they just do their best to try to keep their fellow members from being ripped off. So if they see somebody doing something shady, they say, hey, watch out for this, or watch out for this. Steve is very angry about that, and anyone that's on these forums or in these groups is basically part of a cult, according to Steve, and it just kind of is what it is. But I think they gave great Kool-Aid at cult meetings. Yeah, it's got like a bit of a kick to it. Hard enough to keep a super sharp chain. I don't port my saws. Yeah, I don't. I legit feel like porting it's not just something anybody can do. It's a skill, and that's the reason I've never spent my time to try to do it, because I don't know that I have the skills to do that. When I see it sometimes, I'm like, I could replicate that, but I don't truly know what's going on, and I don't know if I have the interest to learn. So that is what it is. Keep your eyes open on that. Fabs and Fabs bought a chainsaw from Steve, and now he's not satisfied with the chainsaw. Steve's mad that he's not satisfied, so Steve just now threw him into the lawsuit and Fabs was just served papers that now he's part of the lawsuit. I don't know. I have zero issues with my board cells. Yeah, he's being absolutely ignorant. The reason, is he didn't know about porting, and he wanted he's just one of them people that will bullshit you and tell you what he's got is the best. So he can't port a chainsaw. So what he started doing was big bores, and he would sell you a chainsaw that's a big bore. I mean, everything that's cool needs a good gimmick, and I don't know. I don't get it myself, but it is what it is. Port saws. Where you go? If you can't afford it, at least do a month for a month. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody likes that. I think when it comes to tree work and chainsaws, you'll find yourself in danger or in a sketchy situation more often with a underpowered chainsaw that's dull than you ever will find yourself with a sharp chainsaw with plenty of power. The times where things have went wrong, chain's kind of dull, and it's a little underpowered. And then I find myself where you'll get in a pickle sometimes. So, right on, Reaper. What's up, Galore? You enjoying my big bore 66? Oh, you got a big bore 66. That's sweet. No, I'm not quite that weird. KT. Not quite. Not quite. I mean, I'm a rocket scientist, basically. Like, as far as I'm super, super, super smart. But, yeah, I don't know if I don't have enough weirdo in me to be a Scientologist. So, let's get bucking. Let's start here. Bucking Billy Ray. Buckenstock is happening. So, I check in on Buckenstock. Now, there's nothing personally wrong with being narcissistic. There's nothing like physically wrong with this. It's not even a bad thing at times to have narcissistic traits. It just means a lot of times you're super confident to the point that you think you almost find yourself to be a bit superior to other people. So just know, every time I say a narcissist, that's not always a negative thing, alright? So work with me. It is very wild that it exists. So, I mean, you have a narcissist who's having a narcissist party, and just absolutely loving the attention. Buckenstock. But at the same time, I really like the fact that he's getting all them people together. I think that's kind of cool. I like his. If we're getting like down to the brass tacks, I like his message. So, but to be narcissistic is to mistreat others. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You could just mentally feel superior to that person. So when you're having conversation, you're not actually KT. You're not actually listening. You're just waiting for the period where they stop talking so you can talk again. You don't always have to actually physically mistreat people. There's levels to it though, KT. There's definitely levels to it, and you become a YouTuber, and you probably get a large following, and you start to believe your own hype to the point you start to start to feel yourself a bit, and you've actually tuned out, and you have people that moderate every single thing that could be negative, or not even negative. Let's say constructive criticism. Without constructive criticism, it's left on to the person to better themselves. Okay, so you don't have people telling you, hey, that's not, you shouldn't do that, or what do you think about this, or if you don't take a little bit of that, you kind of just become more narcissistic. Um, Not a bad thing. He nailed it. Maximizing the social media impact. 100%. I am absolutely envious of the community that he's been able to put together. Those people back him to no end. And I feel like there's a lot of lost people that he's the type of guy that can make you feel like you're part of something and put you in, and that's cool. So I back that 100%. But so they're doing the Buckenstock, and I kind of stopped in. They were doing a live feed, and first thing, he is on a tree that they have planted. I don't understand when you do these logging shows, they plant in the ground these like straight dead poles, and that's I don't know. I don't know why, because when they fall those things, they didn't even hold the hinge. These things were like falling apart, rotted. But he's following them, and he's showing some techniques, and he's kind of doing a class, um, and showing people. He did one at first where he was sharpening saws, and went around and personally like stopped by people and helped them with what they're doing wrong sharpening saws, in a very narcissistic way, which I'll get into. But he's first thing when I click on, he's following this little stick, and he instantly does this thing where he sneak disses and kind of talks trash on other guys that do what he does. Okay, so I click on, and I'm like, oh, he's doing Buckenstock, cool. Instantly, he puts his wedge into the back of the tree, and he's actually, I don't even know if he put a wedge in. He was cutting, the tree was leaning the direction, or the log, the stick was leaning the direction he wanted. He put his notch in, he started to make his back cut, and it went over and fell. As he's doing it, I'm watching him, because he tells you to use certain techniques, do certain things to be a better faller. So one of his things is, and I agree with this 1000%. When you're falling a stick, a tree, whatever it is you're falling, anything that's got any height, you make your face cut as you start your back cut. You can't just sit there and stare at the cut. I know it's easy, and the chainsaw's the dangerous like tool, so you're afraid. I've had new people, when they go to fall a stick, they do the same thing. They are so hyper focused on the chainsaw that they don't look at anything but the chainsaw and what it's doing. So you're falling a tree. When you're making that cut, if you was to look up at the crown of the tree, you're always going to see a ton of movement in the crown before it ever makes it, before you can tell anything at that cut. 100% Limb Reaper. Trees is coming out sometime in the next few weeks. Right on. Was he's going to teach you guys how to tie a stopper knot? Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I do not like the knot videos. And then he started doing knot puns, and I'm like, no. So, I don't know. That threw me all off. I'm very opinionated about that, and You got me. I don't know why he wants that. Yeah. So he's telling the crowd of people, it will first he follows the stick and then he tells them, I tell people all the time, don't be watching the cut. I swear. I don't know if he realizes the way that this works. Okay? So if I was to say something right now, and then in a few minutes I contradict it. Here's how. Show him why USA is number one. Dude, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to do it. I'm too far away. Like, I'm down. Is he want to arm wrestle or something? Like, uh, no, there's nothing wrong with him. I don't, he is very TikTok minded, and I'm just not. I'm just not. I have a different mindset than that. I don't understand the weird, I don't understand it. It's not my style. I can't play the TikTok game. It's not in me. So, while Buckin's doing, the way this works, if I say something crazy, I contradict it. You can hit the thing and go back. And you can double check and make a complete ass out of me because it's very easy to do. So Bucking falls his stick, looks at all these people who just watched him do this, and tells them, don't be staring at the cut. He says, all you guys who stick a wedge in the back of the tree with your hand on the edge, and you start cutting and you wait to see that wedge fall, and that's how when the wedge moves, you know you got movement. Stop doing that. You gotta look up. You gotta look up. You have to look up. You're going to get all this movement up here, and there's a ratio how many feet the top of the tree will move when you use a wedge by how many inches and stuff like that. There's like a formula. I don't know. I'm not a wedge guy. I don't wedge trees over. I just wouldn't. I would put a rope in it. I would work rope angles and bring it over. I don't ever see myself just solely trusting wedges unless that was the only option. There was no way to possibly use a rope. I would try to do a ground anchor and still use a rope. I would use wedges too, but I don't know. I figure back in the day, wedges, I get it. When you're way out in the woods, you don't have time to set up a rope and a tree jack on every single thing. I get it. That's not what we find ourselves in. So I just don't take the risk, and a lot of the stuff I'm doing, like, I don't know. For those of you that do it, it's a skill, cool, but it's not for me. But Bucking is talking trash on you guys who use the technique where you stick a wedge on the back, and as you start to make the cut and the tree comes over, the wedge will start to tip and will fall out of the cut. That's when some guys, they use that as a little bit of a tell that it's starting to move. Still, you should be looking up. You can see that thing, and when you see movement up there, look, you're going to have all this movement up here. Nothing's really happening down here yet until the trees move multiple feet. Then you notice, oh shoot, my cut's starting to open up. So, I think he's 100% right with saying, watch the crown of the tree. That's where your movement's going to be. But he didn't do that. He made his face cut, he started his back cut, but right before he started his back cut, he looked up at the tree, looked back down, and never looked back up to the top until that tree, he still didn't. Even when the tree fell, he didn't look up. You can't, like, how can you do something? And that's a ticket for tubing too hard. Alright, I gotta give him that one. You're tubing too hard, man. You can't do that not in the same breath. Like you didn't even take a second breath, and you already contradicted yourself. So I think his message, once again, the message, I back. The delivery, not so much. And the actions? No, no. I think you should maybe you should just follow what you're saying if you're going to try to teach it to a bunch of people. But that's how I started. First thing when I clicked on the video, first thing I said, I'm like, holy smokes, Jesus, this is going to be hard to watch. It kind of makes me cringe at times, but people that are there are loving it. So I'm like, damn, like, good for them. Um, just a second. There we go. I got the chat to hop back on. My chat froze up again. Sorry, guys. So that's how it started. And I kept waiting for one of you guys to say something. And yeah, I was like, damn, my chat has already froze up before we even really got started. But okay, just watch The Crown. Just don't see. This is where doing what you see. Don't do that. Like, do as I say, not as I. That's what people should with Bucket. Like in that scenario, do what he says. Don't do what he just did. So I never looked up, talk trash. Yeah, I don't like the weird thing where he talks trash about other guys, and it's to the point that he does that enough that they have inside jokes, him and his buddies, about some of the other tree guys that are on YouTube, which is just weird to me. I don't really get it. I don't like how he teaches newbies to follow what he does and makes it look easy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think he should. My okay. I feel like I gave advice originally to him. Was my advice was be proud of who you are. There's nothing wrong with the old school way that you do things. Be proud of that. And make it clear to people that I'm doing things in an old school way. There are better, safer, more efficient, ways of doing this that, you can, it's just, there's no reason to be taking the risk nowadays. Things have moved along way too far to be taking those kind of silly ass risks. So, where's he's talking to the people, he's teaching his little class, and he says, you should take knowledge from this person, this person, this person, this person, and this person, and make your own stew, kind of thing, And I back that 100%. Um, I find myself agreeing with him a whole lot until he does some kind of strangest stuff, and I'm not gonna I'm not just gonna overlook it because he's nice here. If you're doing something that's dumb, it's dumb across the board. You can't not be dumb because you're cool in this area, or you're nice. You're too nice for me to acknowledge that you're doing something wrong. It just doesn't work that way. So, Mega Gaming Team. Walter? I'll go. Yeah, Walter works. So, yeah, I have it wrote down a couple different times. I just don't like the weird way that he sneak disses on people and kind of trashes the way other people do stuff, and just basically says that his way is the only way. He'll contradict himself. He says you shouldn't use a chainsaw except for okay. Anyone who uses a chainsaw, there's back barring. In his opinion, you should never back bar. He said you should always be working on a pulling chain. So, I think if you're inexperienced, I think it's a really good rule to kind of follow. to keep you going, you should try to do that because it's much easier on you. It's much safer. Backbarring can get sketchy at times. It's it's pushing the saw instead of you know you're not. It's wanting to yank the saw kind of out of your hands almost, or push it back into you. But the problem is he tells all these people once again, don't back bar. Don't use the back bar. Get a full wrap chainsaw so you can flip it. Not all of us have full wrap chainsaws. And I would just like to say that I will make much lower stumps than you will ever make with a full wrap chainsaw. So you guys that have a full wrap saw, a lot of times they want to get, if you gotta do stump grinding, you want to get a half wrap saw because you're able to cut the stumps so much lower without that full wrap handle. But he says that back barring is lazy. And it's just not. I just feel like it's an advanced technique. It's not lazy. It can be dangerous, but it's not lazy. And the last video of his I watched, I promise, like 80% of the video, at a minimum, 80% of the video was him backbarring everything. So you spend weeks talking about this certain way of doing things, and then 1000% contradict it in your next video because you're in production mode. You're just doing what you do, and at times it's more efficient and easy to be backbarred. So when you're just doing things the efficient way, you're instantly contradicting yourself. So I don't like that shit. I think it's weird. I just wish you wouldn't do it. I just wish you wouldn't do it. Like, don't make fun of other people's way of doing things because everyone should be making fun of the way you do things. So this weird inside jokes about shit, I just don't like it. I gotta do this. I'm gonna write about half of y'all that, and I don't know if they'll ever see this video, but half of the people that are at Buckenstock are getting a ticket for impersonating a dinosaur. No. There's a lot of Buck and Billy Ray cosplay going on. So it is really fun for me to, like, I would go there just to people watch. All these fellers that show up and they've dressed themselves up just like Bucking. And it would be so humbling and like it's got to be awesome when somebody appreciates you enough and likes you enough. They're dressing up like you, but at the same time, don't ever dress up like me. That's weird as shit. Grown men don't do that. Okay? So don't do that. Yeah, there's a lot of cosplay there. So if you need a laugh, click in and you can see some of these guys that like, yeah, I don't know. With the lights blaring, just sirens on, everything, Tim. I'll come in sideways. I need to go. I was gonna wear last week I wore my Buckenstock shirt during the live feed, and I don't even think most of the people no one even said anything. So, yeah, a lot of that's all I could see is a lot of Buck and Billy Ray cosplay. So, another thing, you're now following these poles. Like I told you, they have a line of poles and they're following them. What's up, Brandon? Bucking is a great follower. He contradicts himself a bunch. Yeah, and it just doesn't pay all the time to be super opinionated, especially if you're kind of a wishy-washy kind of personality. If your opinion can be swayed with ease, or you just don't have a bunch of knowledge in an area, like, just there's no reason for him to always be kind of sneak dissing on people. That's the best way I could say it, because he does it again here in a little bit, and another guy joins in on it, and it just made my blood boil when I seen it. I'm like, and I know this other guy. I'm like, what the hell? And where do you get off poking fun at anybody? But it is what it is. We'll get into it. I cosplay as you all. You better not, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it anymore. Dang, I just threw my someone outfit in the washer. Son of a bitch. You guys better knock it off. Or send me a picture. That way I can make a meme of it and make fun of you. A couple packs of white shirts. Dude, you guys better all knock it off. What the hell? Actually, we could all dress up like me, and then we could go to Buckingfest. That's what we should have done. We should all roll up with the sirens blaring. I have a big old red light that I'm gonna go buy just for this. It costs so much money though for just a red light, so I didn't do it yet. But yeah, I kind of feel like I have to now. Brandy Goodwin, what's going on? So he's following these sticks, running these chainsaws, and there's tons of men, women, children that are standing in the drop zones, in the danger zone. Nobody has hard hats on. Maybe one or two people have a hard hat on. Bucking has earmuffs. That's it. Earmuffs, like, are only. You should only be wearing earmuffs if you're shooting a gun and you have to, or it's cold outside. I don't like it. I don't like the earmuffs. I don't like them. 100%, Bert. There's plenty of them in my area. You could probably roll through a neighborhood and snag one, Tim. I guarantee you could. So, yeah, maybe make these people get back. That way, the potential for someone getting hurt isn't there. Because they're there to see you, and you can't. You just want to show off most of the time. Like, so you're wanting to do what you do, which is false, which is dangerous. Would you take a bunch of people out into the woods with you if you were doing production falling for? No, you wouldn't. But that's just my opinion on that situation. I think it's very kind of sketchy that you have all these people, because he wanted to bring everybody up to look at his stump. Come look at the stump. Come here, come here. And all these people come crawling and like, oh no. He was too busy. Dude, he gets her. He gets them. Yeah, they're straight. What did I call them? Telephone poles with suckers on it, something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, maybe don't have the people standing up in the danger zone. So I notice as I'm kind of watching this, and all these spectators are sitting in the danger zone, which is stupid. Sizemore, I think his name's Justin. Sizemore Tree Works. He has a YouTube channel. It seems like he injured his foot, because it looked like he had like a cast on his foot or something. He's kind of hobbling around, and I was like, oh shit. I haven't seen him post anything to say that he hurt his foot or whatever, but maybe that's why well, originally I thought maybe that's why he's not putting out videos, but then I scrolled back and I'm like, he did put out a video. So I don't know what's up with him, but I tell you one thing, I'm gonna have to. He's getting an accessory ticket. As an accomplice, because he decided to make a smart ass joke about, you're like them people with the shark gill. Because I guess he shows up. Bucking must like him, so they're buddies, I guess. So they're making fun of anybody that's ever used the shark gill technique, which I'm sorry, but Justin seems like the type of guy that would have made a video using the shark gill. He regurgitates anything he sees someone else do. So for him to use that opportunity to talk shit about other guys with Bucking on camera, dude, that's lame. That's lame. You shouldn't be talking shit on nobody. So what's up, Troy? Is it my audio, Ground Pounder? You guys will let me know if something's wrong. I hope. That's why I try to keep an eye on what you guys are doing, but I think low impact. I think he in his video he talked trash on the shark gill. Um, he called anybody who does these other techniques other than a front cut, a face cut, and a back cut. He made fun of all that. He said all that stuff is silly and stupid. You should never do it. Face cut, back cut. Well, here's the problem. You're the dipshit that decided to put back cut first on YouTube. So I never seen anybody on the internet make a back cut first and then make their. To me, and I wouldn't be saying this right now if you're not always making fun of other people, and you must do it a whole lot if you and your buddy are. That's an inside joke. That anyone who tries other techniques other than what you do is dumb or stupid. But dude, you're the guy that brought back cut first to the internet. That's my opinion. That may be the dumbest of all the techniques. I mean, so I'm going on. We're 26, 27 years doing tree work. I've never needed to use a back cut first. Ever. Ever. I never even thought about it. The only reason I thought about it was because I seen somebody else do it. And I'm like, that just seems dumb. Why would I make a back cut? I get you want to get a little bit of lift before, or a little, this is what I do. I put a damn rope in it because it's not 1908. I got throw balls. I mean, a gun that shoots it, a big shot that shoots it. You can throw it by hand. I don't know if you know. You can throw it by hand. I don't care if you put it in your mouth and spit it out. In my opinion, it's still better than making a back cut first. But that's not my inside joke with all you guys. I don't, dumbasses with them back cuts, eh? Come on, man. You're better than that. You're not the type of person that does that, remember? He likes to call himself righteous. And a righteous guy doesn't do that. He doesn't spend his time downplaying and trashing other people. Only lowlifes talk shit on people. Shit. Yeah. I just realized I'm a lowlife. That sucks. Okay. But yeah, Sizemore, you don't talk shit on people, dude. Don't do that. I'm trying to be nice here, but yeah, don't. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna move on. So there are some fellers who get on. Here's one thing that I don't much like is those grifters that come around to glaze you as a content creator, like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and how you've helped them and mold their career, and then when they feel like they've gotten all they can get from you as far as clout, they move to the next one. And oh, you're the greatest thing, and now your outfit changes, and you're cosplaying as that person, and then get the fuck out of here, man. Um, that's lame. I don't like that. But there's a few glazers out there, and you don't think you should do that. But then Buckin moves along in the video, and he shows this 15-year-old young man, let's say, tricks to file an assault, and then I think that's cool. I think you're showing the youth, like, and I really dig it when you have a younger kid like that that even has the ambition and like drive to even think about doing this kind of work, because it's manual and everyone's a pussy now and no one wants to do any manual labor. Um, I mean, even the guys that are in tree work hardcore, you guys are all trying to get fat. You're all trying to get unhealthy and fat because your end goal is to have a machine that you set in that does all the work for you so that you get no exercise. This is the plan for most guys. If they had it their way, they would do nothing except for touch a joystick. And I don't know about you, I enjoy manual labor. It makes me feel good at the end of the day. I feel like I did something. So, I mean, sometimes I wish I had a machine to do everything for me too. But, yeah, I would too, Isaac. I would too. I'm just being a grumpy old bastard, so. But, so he teaches the young kid, and there's some things that, as he was teaching this kid, I didn't like. But hey, who am I? He's taught way more people how to sharpen a saw than I have. So then a middle-aged guy says, Buckin, can you give me a hand? He says, my saw cuts, but it don't cut like yours. And here's where he lost me. He says, well, it's probably operator. And the guy thought he was joking. And he looked at him and kind of gave a smile. He says, yeah. And Buckin's dead serious, though. Treetopia, where's that at, Ryan? Yeah, where's that at, Ryan? So but he's dead serious to this guy. And it's rude. It's just rude. So basically Buckin's being like, I'm just better than you. And if you are better than him, that's cool. It's in Cali? Dude, no, I don't know if I don't want that shit rubbing off on me when I get, like, I'll come back wearing a tie-dye shirt with weak wrists and, like, a sore bum. I don't know if I can do all that, man. Tree stuff, putting it on. Oh, man, oh, Nick Boner's there? I'm not doing that. What the fuck? I didn't know Nick Boner was going to be there. I don't want to be around the Boner, dude. Rocky Mountain, ISA chapters, having some things too this year. Oh, really? Sweet. Brandon. I would never talk to Tim on. If he ever called me, I'd get a restraining order. That would be crazy if somebody did. That would be awesome if somebody did that. They would sell out. I guarantee you. The ground pounder instantly. I'll buy one. I would too. So he straight looks this guy in the face and is like, "You're just," basically tells the guy, "You suck. I rock." And I'm like, "Damn, dude, this guy was asking you for some help, and you just." I don't know. That's weird to do. Yeah, it's just maybe you are better than this guy, but that's weird to say. The thing I didn't also that I found very weird is that he would go around to these people that were sharpening their saws, because there was multiple stations where people were sharpening saws, and if you sharpened a saw, you've seen it. There's multiple different ways to do it. Different techniques where you're on either side. Um, Justin, neither. You need an H. So people they've been sharpening their saws. They started to get a bit efficient at it and a little better. And instead of giving him their like some minor technique ways of doing things, maybe change it a little bit. He wants them to sharpen exactly like he does. Put your chest on the power head, and this way, and then flip it, and this way, and then this way, and then this way. And this poor kid, he probably just learned how to sharpen a saw. Bucking does it like him, makes him do it his way. Instead of letting the kid do it the way that he feels comfortable doing it and helping him. You gotta switch everything and change it completely. I just, yeah, that's like those. Yeah, this is the way. Yeah, your way. No, 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 no. Do it like this. It's like, oh man. I call to see if you go 3 times a month away. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird to like try to change. They have to do it exactly how you do it, or they're not doing it right. I don't like that. But, I guess I don't have to like it. I don't have to watch. I don't have to do any of that. But it's just weird. I wish he wouldn't do the weird shit, because I like his message. I like the community he's built. I think as a YouTuber, he's doing a bang up job. Like, he's good. He's good at being a content creator. Um, but yeah, I don't. Some of the shit he does is very contradictory of the way he says you should live. You should always be kind and this and that. Well, it's not kind to always be poking fun of and making fun of other people's techniques. No. Yeah, I don't want to get personal or nothing, but that is what it is. So, let's pause dues. Oh, can you imagine wearing a shirt at their event? Dude, I'll wear it. I swear I would wear it. Nobody could say. You ain't gonna say nothing to me anyway. Um, that's the same way I feel about all of this. Like, I'll be there. Nobody's gonna say nothing. So, I don't know. Do we go to the next one? I'll buy 20. You're gonna make them your work shirts. That would be sick. 58%. I'm certified in a few things. Looking at the floor. Crazy. That would it would be crazy if you could get those shirts made though. That would be awesome. So let's move to the next channel. The live feed ends last week, and instantly, oh yeah, hey, I thank you guys for the thumbs. It's like 20 thumbs already. That's cool. I appreciate you. Also, if you do like my content, I do put out shorts now, but all my uh, like full videos and edited content, the whole videos are on the members page, and it's like I think it's like $4.99 a month. I put all my full video projects over onto that, and I will be putting out a few live reviews. Well, Officer Bourne will be doing some more live reviews uh, on my memberships too. I need to get after Game of Trees. Tim's definitely getting. There's an open case on him as we speak, and I'm sure there's going to be other people. But let's do JLM tree service. Last week we ended our live feed, and then this shit pops up, and I'm like, I gotta remember this. I hate when people. I feel like a lot of guys are trying to play this game where they upload their video right after my live feed ends. That way, maybe I'll forget it by the time Sunday comes around or Saturday. I don't even remember what day. Saturday, in the hopes I don't say nothing. But JLM Tree Service puts out this video called "Best Pro Tree Climber / YouTube's Finest." The title, "You're tubing too hard." You get one sentence, dude. You can't do two sentences. You didn't have to. You could have worded it and made it correct. You wouldn't even get a ticket right now. But you had to put a little slash and make two different things. That's not the way it works. You get one sentence, make it work, or don't put videos out. There's rules. This is rookie behavior. So I don't like that he says best pro tree climber. I don't like that. Because I don't like lying. I don't like liars. Lying is not cool. I don't lie. I speak straight facts. Always. And there's no, you can, I mean, it's tricky, but in reality, there can't be two bests. So, the fact that I'm already on YouTube and take up all of that category of the best, and then you come in, you put best, you should put in my area. And maybe, you know what, actually, I think he forgot to put that. That's what I think happened here. I think he forgot to finish what he was thinking when he wrote the title out. And he meant to say, best pro tree climber in my town. I don't know what the YouTube's Finest thing, but it was a compilation video of some of his rigging and stuff. Kind of a music-ish video, but a compilation video. He says he's YouTube's finest climber. In the description, he says that he climbs the most epic and dangerous trees. He calls them giant trees. And I mean, okay, if we're telling the truth. You don't make it in the top 100, and your trees are on the smaller side. That's facts. So in his description of his video, see, you offended me. This is what I don't like. This you offended me when you tried to, that's like making a video and being like, I'm stillborn. You call yourself that, and you're not that. When I'm that. So you can't. The title just doesn't work. None of it. Not the first part or the second part. You could put tree climber. There's just a few things that need to be left out. Finest and best. Take those two, and I'm okay with you being a pro tree climber. That you can do that. You can do that. I'm okay with that. But in the description of the video, not the actual video, the description, he asked me 4 times to subscribe. In the description. I'm trying to think of what kind of ticket that is. I don't like it. It's got to be a way I can ticket that. I'll think of it. I don't like it. I don't like that. Don't ask me to subscribe that many times. You know what? Here's what's funny. There's a little button underneath every video. Excessive use. And that's what I was kind of going to go with. I don't know. It's got to be something else. You just don't ask me to subscribe that many times. I don't even like when people ask one time in a video, especially if they do it all the time, because it's like you're basically, okay, this is what I want you to think. Every time someone asks you to subscribe, this is what they mean. You guys may not realize this is what they mean. You're stupid. That's what they say to you every time. They're like, subscribe to my video, hit the thumb button. They're like, you're stupid. You're super stupid. And I don't like when people call me stupid. So when they're like, subscribe to my YouTube, like the video, here's my issue. I feel like you guys may know this already. Harassment would work. It's almost like I was looking for like some degree of assault. I've been assaulted with the subscribe button by him, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think he shouldn't do that. But that's just so you guys know. I'm gonna start telling you guys subscribe a whole bunch, and you know what I mean when I say it. So I've told you already. So all you guys, every single one of you, remember to hit the thumb button and subscribe. Idiots. Ignore that last part. Okay, so I fully respect. It's wasteful. It's very wasteful. It is. It's in the description, man. Like, I've made parody videos about those tree guys that ask you 15 times to. You just call me dumb? What the hell? I don't like that, Rupert. I fully respect his confidence. I dig that. But I mean, his opinion it's irrational and delusional. You can't be the best when I'm already doing that. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. So change the title. That's not good. He's good though. He's a pretty good tree guy. You ain't the best. You can't be. You're not wearing my boots every day. You're not me. So does it irk anybody else when you watch a tree channel and you can tell what they're doing is just repeating the same video concept that they seen someone else do, and they're just repeating it and basically just copying what the other guy did. Yeah, don't subscribe. Do not subscribe. I mean, yeah, just don't. I don't like when people subscribe. I don't want it. So, where's that? You know, there's a fine line between confidence and delusion. We'll just say that. So then he hits us with another video this week. I think he may have just put this out. It was yesterday or the day before. The title of the video: Massive 100-foot tree removal. That's how you make a title. So you don't need all them words. That's called overcompensating. That's like those fellers who got a little bitty tiny pecker, but they drive the biggest truck they could find. That's when you make a title, you put a whole bunch of words. That's I feel like you're just saying my video sucks, so I need all these words to entice you to come watch it. So figure out how to do it in his gangster. It's gangster as hell. You should just do one word. That's like that's when you reach master of YouTube. When the video has one word. Some of y'all write a novel, and I don't like it. Lifted with the train. Yeah, well, I drive a huge truck. It's I figured. I figured. So, did you catch the thumbnail, Tim? I don't know if you caught my thumbnail. That whole thing was a screenshot. Like I put YouTube Live, and I put the little cop on there. But the rest of that was an actual screenshot from your video. So I thought it was good. I was impressed with myself. I thought I nailed it. Especially the well, so okay, massive 100-foot tree. The video starts and he's like, he's always this guy's always like, he's always talking about another YouTuber. I don't know if there's a video that he gets through without talking about another YouTuber in that video. I would like to see it. Because in this one it starts out and he says, "Hey Tim with Veterans Tree Service. Got that tape measure. And he says, I'm going to measure this for you because you asked for us to measure them." So he measures the circumference of the tree. He could have waited till the tree had been felled and then gave a DBH on the tree. But you would see how small that tree is then and would have, a little bit to go off of. So where was I at? Shit. Oh, so yeah, he's like, we're gonna measure the tree. So he measures the outside of the tree around it, and he's like, that's 82 inches. And the title of the video is massive, 100-foot tree removal. So I would think the actual DBH to that tree, 25 to 30, maybe 25 to 30. 26 inches. I figured you would do the math. So, yeah, that I just tell him to do something. He does what you say. Tell him to do something funny, Tim. Like you could make him like do a headstand or something with his gear on. That would be sick. But so Tim, he does the measure. Then this guy's crazy. He gets up in the top of the tree and he sneezes. I can't make this up. This is why you should edit the videos. He spits his tooth out while he's up in the top of the tree. He sneezes and he spits his tooth out, and then he's like, I don't know how he's seeing. First of all, you have hawk eyes, you have eagle eyes. To be able to see a tooth on the ground from 70 foot up in a tree, 60, 70 foot in a tree, he seen it on the ground, was like, it's right there in front of you, and they thought it was a joke. Yeah, no joke. Like, he's funny. Like, that's the guy I wish he would just do that. But it's this very character fake, kind of overly nice. I only post my life's perfect on YouTube or on Facebook, and then like I have friends right now to where like their life looked like heaven when they posted on. Now they're getting a divorce, him and his wife, and it's like, holy shit. It's just the overly weird nice stuff cringes me out. But maybe that's him. But he spits his tooth out from the top of the tree, and the guys find it on the ground. And then he looks back at the camera and he says, wait, and I dig this. This is my favorite part of the video. He says, we're about to do this toothless and ruthless. And I'm like, this is funny as hell. Like, I back this 100%. And at first I'm like, you should have edited this out. But then when I got to see, I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. I think this is funny. I like that he kept it in. This is funny. Then, this is the stuff I wish was cut out of the video. He says, out of nowhere, he looks at the camera and he says, Fleta. And he starts talking about this old lady at his church. And first of all, that old lady, Fleta, is rude as hell if she's like, I like you better when you wear your tooth. What? You look so much better when you wear your tooth. And then he's like, I wear my tooth just for you, Rita. Or Fleta. And then Fleta's husband, because he's telling a story here about Fleta when he's at church. And Fleta's husband also come up to him and was like, oh, Fleta just loves it when you wear your tooth. First of all, I think it's weird as shit that you all are having that many conversations about my tooth. Don't do that. Like, that's weird. That's weird. Fleta, that's rude. You, just weird. It's weird. I don't like it. But maybe in his town, that's the shit. Maybe they do weird shit like that. I don't know. I don't know where he lives. But those church people are strange. And then when he says, I started wearing my tooth just for you, Fleeta. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know who Fleeta is, but I don't like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like Fleeta, but whatever. So he's doing the tree though, because then he cuts back. This was a long. There's a huge section of this video where he talked about Fleeta's husband, and the church, and his $500 tooth. And my problem is, I'm watching because I want to see some damn tree work. I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear about Fleeta. I don't want to know that Fleeta drove by your house and she waved and you didn't know who she was, so you felt like you were rude. And you didn't mean to be rude, Fleeta. So Fleeta, hey, thanks for the. I can't, man. No, stop. Don't do. Don't do that. I don't like that stuff. I don't want to see that stuff. And I just think it's weird that you only wear your tooth for Fleeta, that you wear it just for her. It's weird. Um, but then it goes back to the tree work, and I'm like, thank God. Oh no. Reminds me of Cletus? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but Fleeta, I hope he never talks about Fleeta again. Or sometimes I enjoy the other stuff added in. Yeah, I don't know. I wanna, I don't want to hear about Fleeta. And her rude ass to where she's always like, I think you actually look good when you wear your teeth. That's like, what the fuck? So you think I'm ugly as shit when I don't got my tooth in? That's rude, Fleeta. But, I don't know, some of them old people are unintentionally rude and don't even know that they're being rude. They're just old. I want to be that way. I want to be worse. So, I don't want to make fun of them too bad because I'm going to be that soon. Like, I'm kind of there right now. But, yeah. It goes back to the tree work. Why does he use a timber hitch for his anchor to climb on? Um, I don't know if I don't like that. I feel like I don't like it. I feel like I don't like that because it seems unnecessary and different for the sake of being different. But he does like a timber hitch with 5 wraps, and then he does that on the sonai end of his rope. Then he takes the sonai and he clips it to the rope. Then I don't know. I don't know. What was? I don't. Oh really, dude? He's shown it so many times, Tim. It's one of the weirdest things I've really. I just don't get it. I don't get. I think maybe the reasoning behind it initially was, when somebody learns a new technique or a new rule, and they just obsess over it, and they like change everything, like change drastically, all because they just learned. Bucking does this. When you can break through that thick skull and get him to change something, he is so gung ho about it. When he's in, he's in. If he's not, he don't give a damn. But like, maybe initially he was trying to avoid side loading a carabiner. So the way to do that would be, why wouldn't you just try running bowling? It's when you use a timber hitch, you're just reassuring that it's not retrievable. It can't be retrievable, and I just don't. It seems unnecessary and like inefficient too. Yeah, you shouldn't have learned. You should have ignored that day. You should have ignored that day. And when you were watching August, and he showed you, you should have. I wish you wouldn't have seen that. I don't like it. So I wish he would wear that or use that weird temper hitch, but that's what he does. Yeah, he talked about Felita for half the video. Most of the limbs. Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the limbs he ended up rigging out of this tree could have been just free cut, and that's the typical know-it-all tree guy response is you could have just cut that. Why'd you rig it? You could have. Maybe he was trying to get practice, but ones that were even closer to the building, he free cut. Ones that were further away, he ended up rig. Maybe he was just trying to get some practice, and I back that 100% when you're trying to just use the opportunity to get efficient or good at something. So, I'm not really going to talk too much trash on rigging when you don't absolutely have to, but yeah. You have jury duty. They tried to make me do jury duty. I told them no. Yeah, I didn't go. So one of you guys is probably gonna have to bond me out eventually. So I'll call. Well, Tim could bond me out. He could like pawn one of his 500 eyes or something. Um, okay, so he sets his rigging up, and he points out while he's setting his rigging up that he puts his climb line underneath. So you have your rigging top. You have these 2 points here. You put a ring here, and let's pretend like there's another stem that's like towards the middle there, but they're off like a triangle. He's rigging off these two, and then he runs his climb line underneath those 2 points and runs a redirect from a limb to limb while his rigging line's running over top of it. He points this out and says he purposely does this. That's not, I would avoid that. Just my own personal opinion. I would prefer to have my climbing system and, yeah, my rope above the rigging, because if the rigging was to fail, it then falls onto your climb line and you're not safe. So even though you're tied into 2 separate stems, like he's anchored over here and then he's redirected over here, if this rigging fails that's going over the top of it, it then grabs a hold of yours and you get ripped out even though you're tied into 2 separate stems that have nothing to do with the rigging, because you decided to run your redirect on purpose under the rigging system. Just not a good technique. I would say avoid it. And yeah, it's just nothing good will come of it. But he points it out, says he did it on purpose. He does say the reason he set it up that way, and he left some slack in the system, he's trying to avoid rope on rope, the rope shoving. That's cool because he has multiple times, I've ticketed him for rope on rope contact. And at least he's fixing that. He's trying to avoid it. That's cool. The video went on, and at one point he became very happy and almost giddy when a stab poked him in his bum hole. And I absolutely do not like that at all. And you shouldn't. I don't like that. Don't say that again. And but don't point it out either. Like, you should. I just don't like that he was like that. Ooh, he said, and then he's like, "It got me in my bum hole," and I'm like, I don't know. No, 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 no. I don't like that. So I don't want to focus too much on that at all. Actually, yeah, I don't want to talk about that anymore. So his ground guy at one point he warns him. He's like, "Hey man, what up, Buck? Yeah." So the ground guy starts to warn him at one point. He says, "Hey, that rigging line is run up underneath. It's going to get into your climb line." He says, "Yeah, I got it there for a reason, you know." And then rigs the piece, and then says that the ground guy was right, and who I don't know. Sometimes I can't keep up with it. Sometimes it don't make any sense. But he says that the ground guy he should have listened to his Gus. Gus is the ground guy, but he only admits. At least he admits, okay, that Gus was right after it happened. He's like, I should have listened to Gus. I back that 100% because you're not being this lame pretender that you're like, I meant to do that. You know, I don't like the bumhole thing, but that I like that um, you're taking the criticism there, and you're like, I was wrong. So, um, at one point, he says tree work is like rocket science to him. To me, I mean personally, super easy. Tuesday, NTBX, Tuesday. It was like, when did I come on? I can't remember. Um, just excuse me. I haven't had time to shave either, so. I have smooth legs though. My legs are super smooth. Yeah, I have this. I have COVID. Is that still something that is around? That's what I say. I got COVID. Um, all right, let's move on. Rion rounds. So Rion does a video. He puts it. It's called "Huge Tree Looms Over Animal Hospital." We took it down. Come on. I'm just gonna give him a warning. No ticket. To write him a warning. One sentence, man. One sentence. It's, you can make a run-on sentence. I'm okay with that. Make a run-on sentence that goes forever. One. You get one. I don't. Yeah. So we took it down. It says afterwards. You could have Yeah. You didn't need to put that part in there, but you did. I like the way that he just kind of does things his way. He's not so influenced about everyone else that's on YouTube. He's not so influenced about what's the new trend. He just looks at something, tries to be super efficient at it, and I can't relate to the machinery, the insane amount of machinery, but I think he's just out now. I think he's a good tree dude. Seems to be a badass as a dad, and he seems to be more of the type that'll set a trend instead of blindly follow one, and I respect that, and I like that. So check out Rion. I'm sure you don't need any help from me. His channel's doing great, but we'll move to guilty of treason after that. So uh, I thought this was all that I had. I thought he only had one video this week, and then so my notes are a bit mixed up. So he did put one out at the beginning of the week. Okay. The video at the beginning of the week was called Old Growth Redwood Removals slash smashing a 3 redwood removal job on a weekend. Dude, I feel like this ass clown is the one that started this multiple sentences thing. I don't like this. Tubing too hard. Ticket. So, why old growth redwood removals slash smashing a 3 redwood removal job on a weekend. It's the dumbest title I've ever heard. I don't like that title at all. I think it's dumb. He said the same shit 2 times. And you know what's funny? It was wrong 2 times. No. Yeah, I almost feel like he's trolling me or something, or I don't know. I don't like it though. Oh, I think it's lame as hell. But here's my main problem. Old growth redwood removal. Smashed out 3 redwoods on a weekend, in a day. Video starts. Now here's my problem. I don't know if the editor is redacted. Let's say redacted. I don't know if he's hard at hearing, or he's just trying to rage bait me and everyone else and clickbait. But Jacob starts the video and points out these are 2 sequoia trees. And they grow very fast. I mean, he spends 10 to 15 minutes talking about these trees. There's one, like a very juvenile redwood, and 2 sequoia trees. So, why are you, why does the title say old growth redwood removals? Here's the issue. Now you've got a guy who's creating the titles, editing the videos, and I guess he knows absolutely nothing about tree work. I could see that being the case. But my main problem here is you don't need to know anything about tree work. Jacob told you verbally at the beginning of the video, this is a sequoia tree, this is a sequoia tree, this is a juvenile redwood tree. He even said how young they were. He went on and on about this. Ace is here. Ace is here. What's going on, Ace? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Huh. No. No. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It comes on a bun. Damn. Some sandwiches come on a bun now. Don't throw me all off. You're trying to get me all mixed up. I'm gonna be thinking, and that's sus to be thinking about hot dogs that much anyway. I'm trying not to. Yeah, I don't like how this editor did that. He's lying through his teeth. He's clickbaiting. There was no old growth trees. Jacob talks about how his viewers often leave comments where they complain about him cutting down these old growth trees, and that's not what he does. People put these trees too close to the buildings, yada 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 yada. He went on and on and on and on and on about it. This editor not only recorded him initially saying it, because he's also the cameraman, he watched it about 50 fucking times when he edited it. How did you get mixed up? You didn't. Putting 2 sequoias and a small redwood or juvenile redwood, you think's not going to get you the views. So you'll beef it up a little bit, clickbait everybody, and lie to them and say old growth removal of redwoods, smashing 3 redwood removals on a weekend. That's straight trash, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You're probably right. You're probably right, Low Impact. You're probably right. I probably built his whole channel. I should. The more I think about that, I have to. I was probably responsible for at least 6 or 7 subscribers. I probably built his channel. You're right. I agree. I agree 100%. But he did put out another video. Extreme hemlock disaster. And I have ... Rest of the title was him saying he was a pussy. That's what I have wrote down. Extreme hemlock disaster. The rest of the title was him saying he is a pussy. So I guess that means that title was excessively long and, like normal, tubing too hard. You get a ticket. I don't even know what it said. Apparently, he was complaining, being a titty baby, about something because of what I wrote down, but I didn't write the whole title. I just stopped. It must have been long as hell because I gave up. So the video starts. They're dealing with a hemlock that has laid up over into another, I think it's a cedar tree. There's a bunch of trees that had uprooted in this area. I think some major storms came through and really dealt them a rough hand in that area, and they're just kind of dealing with it. But bonjour, what's up? How we doing, David? Take it to the limit one more time, yeah. He did, didn't he? I hate when people do that, or when someone and don't be someone who falls for this shit because that's what they want. People will purposely spell things wrong in the title of their video to get you to leave them a comment telling them that they spelt it wrong because they don't care what you say. They could care less. They just you're an analytic to them. They need your comment because it gets them money. So when they purposely do it, you've been duped. They think, once again, subscribe, idiot. You know what I mean? Oldest trick in the book. Yeah, I don't like it. But where are we at? Yeah. Okay, video starts. The hemlock uprooted over in the. So Jake can't be a man and set your own shit up. You know, Isaac's got a baby. He's got to see Isaac. I think Isaac's been sick, but he's got to do all the grunt work to make things easy on Jake. I don't like that. But he sends Isaac up a neighboring tree to go put him a climb line into it, while he's putting a climb line in a separate neighboring tree. And so he'll be tied in like this, and the tree's uprooted like right here. So while they're doing that, he says that yeah, he's putting his saddle on. He's like, how come I gotta suck it off every time when I get it? I don't know. Why did he say that? Something about his saddle, he's gotta like readjust it every time. I don't know if that's what he said. If he said that, I don't like that. That's what I have wrote down. Maybe he said that. But something was up with his saddle. He's always complaining that the size ain't right. I don't know. Me either, Buck, yeah. So, he gets started and he just straight up front. He's like, basically, I'm gonna break a whole bunch of rules today because I'm a scared and I'm a pussy. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Um, okay. So he's like, I'm gonna spike this tree because I don't care. I'm gonna spike this tree. And I like that. Don't give me some lame excuse about how the bark's it's gonna be better for it because of the region and we get more rain and tell me you're a pussy. Tell me you're scared. Tell me you can't do it any other way. I respect that. That's called honesty. And I don't know if he was like straight up. He's like, I don't know if he's like, I am a pussy. I think he worded it different. I think his way of wording it was like, I'm real scared. Um, I peed in, I peed in my panties. Um, I'm very nervous. And then he's like, it felt like he spent 75% of the video telling me about how much of a terrified little girl he is, and complaining that he's scared. And I'm like, I wish he would stop telling me how scared he is, but that's the YouTuber way. You got to be overly dramatic about everything because that's what the viewer wants, right? And that's what you guys want. I wish people understood how often I get comments on videos, a lot of my past stuff, where people say, I really enjoy your content. I can't handle any of the new YouTube channels. It's absolute cringe. Everyone's playing a character. It's funny. Like, I don't think a lot of guys will, I don't think they understand. Like, you should just try to be yourself. It's obvious when you're not, and it's obvious when you do. So, I do like that Jake's like, because you could tell he was very nervous, sketched out. I personally feel like a lot of that probably has to do with the fact he doesn't do a whole lot of climbing and tree work anymore. He's he's the boss. He has the other guys do it. You know, if you were to pick a guy on the crew that is probably the most comfortable in the saddle right now, you're probably Isaac, Sam, and Randy are like right there. With everything that he has to worry about, Jake, I get it. You know, it's not, you're not as familiar with it. You're not as comfortable with it as you would be in other times in your career because you have a whole bunch of other shit that you have to worry about that you didn't have to worry about before. So, hang on, I'm going to try to get the chat back again. I think I got it back. Destruction of property, hit and run, assault with a limb or piece of wood. I'm gonna have to hit Jacob with that. Property damage. So I don't like that he hit Randy's ditch witch, okay? And now Randy can't get in the ditch witch to get to the engine department or compartment, whatever the hell you want. I say department. I like that. I'm gonna stick with that. Because he hit it and dented it, now I won't want to come open. So I think always be the goat. Randy is the man. Like you get there, there's a point where everything becomes second nature. It's gonna take something really, really, really crazy to probably give Randy that thrill anymore. You know? So yeah, I dig it. I you can just you can tell. You can just tell by the way he works around in a tree, the way he moves, the way he acts. He's a he's a cool character. I really like watching Randy work. I think he's YouTube gold as far as a character too. So the video goes on, and what the hell does Jake need to borrow someone's gear for? Doesn't this guy own crappy supplies or is that Snappy? Snappy. Snappy supplies. My bad. So he owns Snappy supplies. So why does he need to borrow other people's gear? You got like, you tell me in every video that you have all these ropes for sale, and that you know how much they are and how much they cost and where I can get them, and um, yeah, you should get one. Yeah, that's what I say. Don't tell me about what you got at Snappy Supplies. You should buy one. I don't need to borrow my workers' stuff. So, but I am kind of being a dick because there was like 7,000 ropes in this video. But yeah, he had to borrow from one of the guys. I think it was Sam. Once again, he makes Isaac set everything up, and then he takes all the credit and gets all the glory. And I don't like that. He used DRT while he was doing this. This is another thing I don't quite understand. He used moving rope or dual rope on both climbing setups. So the amount of rope that he had to tend and mess with the whole time, I hate it. Like, anytime I've ever decided to use dual rope and I was having to work throughout a canopy at all, I hate it. It's too much. It's unnecessary. Like, you're moving twice as much rope. There's too much friction. I don't get the response I need. Like, I do not like DRT for 90% of the time, unless I am on a descent and I am working something down. If I am going up, I'm not using DRT. I hate it. If I'm coming down, yeah, because at times I need to have something that's retrievable, I'll switch to it. But he used DRT, and he used DRT on. He had at one point he was tied in three different ways with three different DRT. He's moving like thousands. Like, I don't. Why? Why tied in 3 times with DRT on all of them? And then I'm like, this is crazy. What? There's so much rope that has to be messed with here. This is wild. Just seems inefficient to me and kind of a little silly, but whatever. So he's been hyping up and backing that rope runner Vertec for a while now. I believe I think Tim was just straight up about it and was like, I don't like the bollard, like the buttons, the new clip buttons that you can't lose. That's cool, but the solid bollard instead of a pulley is, I don't think I would like that either. Where it was efficient and you got a nice advantage to having that pulley, especially when you're slack tending. You don't get that with the Vertec. Here's the thing I don't like is when someone just will blindly back something and hype it up before they've ever had time to field test it. There's been things I've done, and I'm like, this is, no one's ever showed this on YouTube. And I'll have a weird technique or something. There's so many times where I thought I was a genius. I had just figured something out. Yeah. Um, I thought I had something, then all of a sudden I field tested, and then I realized, oh, dude, that's stupid. I'm glad I didn't show that. That's stupid. That's why you field test things. I'm not backing anything that I haven't used and don't truly like or am impressed with. Here's my issue with Jacob. That is, if he sells it at Snappy Supplies, he backs it 1000%. He will not say anything negative about it. Until this video. Because I believe he sells the Vertec. He's been telling everybody it's awesome. He has no issue with it. It's great. Then all of a sudden, this video, he's struggling with it. He's hating it. And it's all because of that solid bollard that's at the base of it. If it had the pulley, I think it would just make slack tending much, much easier. Why they decided to take away that pulley, I don't know. I think it's dumb. So, I just wish he wouldn't like blindly back things that he sells, because it just comes off as a bit inauthentic. Let's just say that. Okay, here I got a game plan, Isaac. Isaac's still here, right? Let me see. Isaac's still. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let me. Enough with it. What he's saying, it's good. 100%. That's what I'm saying, Tim. And I don't respect that. I don't respect that. You have a huge following. You know how many people probably went out and bought that stupid ass thing solely because he said it was good? It is what it is. Saying that they have an exclusive giveaway at the show. Is it Randy? That would be sick, wouldn't it? That was kind of nice from GP. GP shuts its thumbs. Okay, yeah, 100%. I agree. All right, Isaac, I got this. I got a plan. We're gonna. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. You guys can all be in on it too. We're gonna be in on this plan. Okay. So I have an issue with the entire Guilty of Treason channel, and I've had this issue. It's been at least a year. Okay. I don't like this. Something's gotta work. Okay. So Isaac is young enough that you can still learn how to do a backflip. Okay. Now I've been teased about Randy's gonna do this backflip for over a year now. I'm super stoked about this backflip. It's the John Jones thing. I don't know if any of you guys follow UFC. This sumbitch just waited for like a year and a half to just retire instead of fighting the interim champ. Like, they've been talking about this backflip on that channel for a long time. I heard that. I heard the Kentucky Blue. Yeah, he did say that, but I'm over it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He retired today. That dude's lame as hell. That's the only way he could have played this out to ruin a like ruin his legacy a bit. Should have just retired a long time ago. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's done enough. That holding on to the belt forever just to troll Aspinall is lame as hell. I'm a huge UFC fan. I never have missed one. Like non-stop. I even watch all the fight nights and everything. But that's the backflip. We gotta get the backflip. Okay. So you're young enough. You can learn to do a backflip. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, I know. That's what. Immediately when I get off here, I instantly go start watching. That's what sucks a lot of times. Only one on the crew that can't do a backflip, and we aren't allowed to show him up. Okay. No, I don't like that. So, yeah, I don't like that. So, I'm a rickety old man, and I'm old as shit. And I got backflip videos already. I already did backflip videos. I did them when I first started making YouTube videos. I was up in the tree, I do some backflips, okay? You can do a backflip. Someone's got to do a backflip. I'm starting to feel like Randy, the last name is Jones, and he's gonna make me think he's gonna do a backflip for a long time, and he's not gonna do a backflip. And I don't like that. Somebody's got to do a backflip. This is so. Every time I watch the video and Randy doesn't do a backflip, I'm disappointed. And I'm like, it's okay. Maybe he's going to backflip. He's going to do a backflip in the next video. So then the next video comes and I watch that video. And you don't, no backflip again. So this has been going on for about a year now. I don't like this. So, I say, you become the backflipper, and I'm sure whoever the backflipper is has to get paid more money. There's got to be some extra dough in it. Randy's not the backflipper. I thought he was going to be the backflipper. I think I don't know. I don't know if he's scared. I don't know what the deal is. But I'm sure the backflip comes with the backflipper position. It has to come with a race. It's some extra money or something, or some like you get to like be the boss or something. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna do a backflip now. It's gonna work perfect. You're gonna make more money, and you're gonna totally. Randy's sitting over here thinking about doing a backflip, while you're over here doing a backflip. It's gonna work perfect. And then you're gonna get more money. So it's gonna be awesome. Hopefully Randy doesn't hear about this. Yeah. Now, I guess it's wrong. Alright, so backflip. You get more pay with the backflip. Oh, also, okay, I feel like Jacob should take all his YouTube money and should. You still sick, Isaac? You've been dealing with this sickness forever. Like, you still feeling rough? Next time we film, I'm gonna do that. Do it, dude. It will be the best. It will be the best Guilty of Treason video ever. As soon as the backflips, I'm all about it. I think it has to be done. It has to be done. It's been teased for too long, but they need to, like, if you're still feeling rough. No, I'm good. But okay, cool. I started to like, dang man, you've been that lingering sickness, and it's real easy for like tree guys. You can end up with Lyme disease pretty easy, and that shit is rough. Like, it totally changed someone's life, all because some stupid tick tried to suck you off, and it's like, kind of sus if you ask me. What's going on, Glue Bus? Yeah. Maybe I'll try to find one of my old backflip videos. I used to record myself up in the tree doing backflips while I was tied in. But that was when I had better phones, I guess, and I wasn't like old and stuff. So it is. All right. So at this point, I'm watching the video, and I'm like, Isaac's gonna do this backflip. That's how we solve all the problems here. And then all of a sudden, you can't watch. Listen, okay, I'm trying to think of how do I explain this. Okay, Jacob's up in the top of the tree. He's tied in over here, remember? He's tied in over here. And he's like, hey, can I borrow a rope from you? Because I don't own an arbor supply store. And he's like, the worker's like, yeah, sure, I guess. He gets that rope, and he goes to tie in. And he can't remember how to tie a Blake's hitch. Now, at this exact moment, I agree with Isaac. He should have had to come down right then, immediately. Isaac told him, get down, get out of that tree. So everybody's linked with their head units, and they can all hear it. And all of a sudden, everybody starts hearing educated climbers' music. And I think his name's Sam, the other guy. He says, is that educated climbers' video I hear? Jacob is in the top of this tree watching a YouTube video. I like it. I think it's funny. But he's watching a video on how to tie a Blake's hitch. And this is so awesome. It's not, but this can't be real. Like, you forgot how to tie a Blake's hitch? I don't know. It was hilarious. So if you didn't see that, definitely go check it out. But so basically, here's the facts. I personally I feel like Patrick, educated climber, he deserves half the credit for this job. Jacob climbed it, but he couldn't get down if educated climber didn't make a video. So that's straight facts. So Patrick gets half the credit for this job. I think Jacob now he should give him money too. Yeah, he should pay him money. So it turns out that climbing and having to cut and chuck and do all the cuts with the climb and the ropes and the limbs and the woods. It turns out that is more strenuous than standing on a crane operating joysticks. And Jacob was like, hey, I'm exhausted. Yeah, he's like, this tree's whipping me. And yeah, that checks out. That checks out. He at one point he runs into and if you've never ran into it, it's hard to understand because most people are like, if you've ever had a large section of a tree sliver and break apart and get all twisted up or become insanely pressurized with the weight of a whole tree on it, and you try to cut that, it will give the gnarliest kickbacks or get pinched. And Jacob finds the mega pressurized limb at one point, and he goes to cut it, and saw bounces and just looks crazy. But he ends up getting his way through it. He kind of gave up at first. You could tell he was just frustrated, starting to get tired. And he says, I can't cut through this limb, it's too pressurized. He figures it out. You just got to get some separation going. and so you can allow for some movement and stuff. But he figures it out. He gets his way through that. Um, Eventually, he gets her down. So, all in all, respect to Jacob for for doing the dangerous stuff instead of being that asshole boss that will just make your guys do it. You know, as long as if I think if it's something you'll send somebody to do, you should be able to do it yourself. And I respect when a guy steps up and says, "Hey, I feel like this is dangerous, and I'll do it." But I mean, for a guy like probably Isaac and Sam and maybe even Randy, you probably want to do some of those, even though it's dangerous. So, but that was it. Check check. Actually, don't check his channel out. He has too many subscribers already. Don't go over there. All right. So, Veterans Tree Service. I gotta rub my temples. This guy. Oh my God. All right. Let's see if I can do this. I can get there. Risking my life for the sake of others. Whoa. You know what? Nice job. That's how you do a title. He's learning. We're changing it. Like, he's coming up. He's coming up. That's not. Normally he goes rookie style, where you do 50 words, a couple different sentences for a title. This is pro level. This is pro grade right here. This is pro grade. So video starts. He's should be working, but he's taking a walk down a trail. I don't like that. I think he should just go to work. And he got some tires. I think he's going to try to do. At first, I thought he was going to go do that stupid CrossFit shit. And I'm like, no, I don't watch this. But it turns out he's going to use the tires to follow the tree on. And I'm like, oh, okay, okay. So he did good. That hurt. That hurt. Ow. Oh, that hurt saying that. But he did good. Oh, gets me every time. He did it all right, and hit the tires. Technically he got lucky, but it hit the tires. So, I'm like, okay, Tim, I see you. And so then they moved to the next job, and they're taking a walk again. And you guys walk too much. He's got to take a walk to this job. Yeah, I don't like this, the rookie rider thing. I think that's what they call it. He gives sissy lift, a bitch lifter. It's I call it the rookie rider. If you until you learn how to climb, you got to ride. You can ride this little machine thing. It'll take you to the top of a tree. For guys that aren't skilled enough to do it on their own rope walk, they do make a thing. I think it does have like an AKA name. Some people call it a raptor. It's a bitch lift. You actually chant pussy power as soon as you take off and when you go up the rope. I don't think I could use it, but at the same time, send it to me so I can use it. So Thank you, Ella. Yeah, he takes his little rookie rider for the second tree. Then he sets his throw ball with this with the big shot, and then he says that is no one could do better, and that's not facts. I could have done that. I would have thrown it by hand and done better. Little Red Rider, pretty much. Little Red Rookie Rider. That's what. It's. I'm working. We'll work on the name. We'll get there. Favorite scary movie. I don't know. I don't know. I look like Freddy Krueger, so let's go Friday the 13th. Alright, so he starts his tree, he takes his little sissy lift to the top, and then when he gets up there, he instantly, I don't like this. Nope, 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 nope. Instantly does his little sissy. Dude, you took the sissy lift up. First thing after taking the sissy lift, he uses the rainbow anchor. And I'm like, well, this guy lives way too close to California. And it's showing hard. So, yeah, he uses the rainbow anchor, and then he starts talking about it. And I'm like, is he trolling me right now? He's telling people about, like, what this is, and why he does it, and I don't like it. But then he puts me in on it, and he's like, this is called the rainbow anchor, and he tries to put that on me, and he tells people to go ask me. And okay, so at the beginning of the week, I had like 600 different people asking me what the hell a rainbow anchor is. I didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, what the hell does everybody keep asking me what a rainbow anchor is for? Like, this is weird. Then I went over and watched Tim's channel. He told these people to go to my channel and ask me what the rainbow anchor means. I don't like that. Don't send them to my channel. Don't come over here trying to like stuff and subscribe, asking me questions. Don't. Nope. But I was like, why the hell does everyone keep asking me about this rainbow? And then I watched the video. I'm like, what? This some bitch tried to. He's trolling me. Tell people come over and ask me what it means. Oh, I mean, basically, if you think about it, you throw the over the limb, comes right back, you anchor it does like a rainbow motion. The guys that actually use the technique, I kind of go a little bit off of what they look like. And it's gay. Can I say that? I don't know. Let's go. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay. So then he's all LGBTQRS hashtag something with this rainbow, and then he gets to the top and he don't want to use the rainbow anchor no more. And I'm like, no, you want a rainbow anchor, you should have the rainbow anchor. Then he says, I don't use the rainbow anchor. And he didn't call it by the name either. He's like, I don't use that other anchor. No. If you're going to call it, you got to call it the rainbow anchor. Don't get ashamed of it now. I think you should have to use it the whole time. Just because you found yourself in some wood that's a little less healthy, you think you can just switch now? No, you can't switch. You should have to rainbow your way all the way to the ground. And yeah, here's my thoughts. At the end of that rainbow, there's no pot of gold. There's a wheelchair. and I don't want to see anybody in a damn wheelchair. I almost ended up in one myself. That damn anchor is going to get somebody hurt. I don't like it. For God's sake, dude, I don't even know what you would call the other anchor where you call it a reach around anchor. We'll call that one a reach around because you take the rope and you put it around the trunk and clip it in. I mean, don't use the rainbow. I don't know. We're just trying to fix things and make things better, but that was a pretty gnarly climb. Um, I I hate battery saws. I don't like them at all. I hate them. I don't like the way they sound. So yeah, I just don't like them. So you're Jake, okay? Little Snatch, aka Jake. I'm gonna call him Jake now because now, okay, he may be, he's the coolest. He may be the coolest on the channel. I think he may be cooler than Tim. Definitely, definitely. I thought about it again. He's cooler than Tim, okay? So Jake, basically I would say he's the second best Jake on YouTube. Bottom line, 100% straight talk wireless facts. Jake, second best Jake on YouTube. My Jake, my ground guy, his name's Jake. That's the best one. I don't know what Guilty's gonna do, but he's gonna have to change his name or something. But your Jake, second best on YouTube. All of YouTube. All the other Jakes, he's number two. Um, and basically anyone who disagrees with it, stupid. Anyone who would talk trash about Jake is just insecure and ignorant. I mean, would he do to anybody? Like, you start making you gonna make a name up for him or something? Start teasing the guy? He didn't do nothing to nobody. So, I like that. I also realized that I don't like when other people troll Tim. I instantly want to be like, no, 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 I don't. I just don't. I don't think I want to do. I don't want to do what anybody else does. I want to troll Tim until I see someone else troll Tim, and then I'm like, hey, don't troll Tim. I don't like that. Like Daniel Murphy, kid, I had to write him a novel every time. I don't know why he's always got to be this grumpy old dickhead, but yeah, sometimes he's grumpy. What else? Oh yeah, and so here's something. So I crunched the numbers. I've been doing an investigation with everybody, all the tree guys on YouTube. It's been going on for a while. I crunched the numbers. I did all the data. And I think a lot of people are going to be shocked to find out that Tim, second best climber on YouTube. Second best. I'm going to give him second best. For now. Like, I'm sure he'll use the rainbow anchor again and ruin it. Just what he does. But I'm going to give him second best right now. Yeah. That's it. Like I said. The data was crunched. I mean, with all the numbers. It just is what it is. It is what it is. But I think that's it for Tim for this week. GP's been getting her done. Old Ground Pounder's been getting her done. I've seen some pictures of some fat hog trees. I like that. When I get off here, I gotta unsubscribe to this dude, the David Elson. I think it's that guy with the extension cord. I don't like that. Actually, nah, Tim, no, 3. I don't like that people are congratulating you. 4, fourth best. That's still good though. That's still good. This David Elson guy, he's the guy that cuts trees with an extension cord. Um, his videos are the lamest stuff I've ever seen on YouTube. They're nothing. It says epic tree falling, and it's like him plugging up his extension cord into his saw, and like I don't even know. But I gotta unsubscribe because everything this dude does, I think he legit records everything and then he starts cutting it into 1 minute intervals and making it a YouTube short. And they're trash. Straight trash. I don't like them. I don't like that. Like, dude, I'm overlooking the fact you use a damn extension cord and a ladder and you wear a onesie. Like, you wear a onesie when you do tree work. I don't like that either. But yeah, I have to unsubscribe. I can't do it no more. I've been subscribed for like a few weeks, and I'm about to stick a fork in the socket and electrocute myself. I don't, I don't like it no more. So I'm done with that. Zacchaeus, he hazardous tree removal. Zach Riggs put out a video. I think the thumbnail said something about other climbers turned it down. I'm sure. August put out a few videos with a homeowner helping him. Yeah, so there's been times where you get that homeowner that's actually competent and witty enough to be able, and I guess it almost have to be healthy and athletic enough to be able to help. I've had many times where someone wants to help, but I'm just like, no, you're a liability. But yeah, August ends up with this homeowner who helps him out. The guy seems like a pretty smart guy. He built him an air cannon and all kinds of shit. But yeah, that's basically it for me this week. Sorry about kind of being in a different location. You been thinking about wearing a onesie? Yeah, well, do it and see what happens. You get a ticket. What Tim say something stupid? He probably said something stupid. Let me see. Alright, well, so, I'm sick of you guys, okay? Just straight facts. I'm tired of talking to you guys. YouTube is getting on my nerves. I had to work too much being a cop, all these investigations. I'm done with you guys. This is over. Don't say nothing else. I don't want to talk to you no more. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate, subscribe, go join my members, watch those videos. Thank you to all my members, being honest, but yeah, I appreciate all the members. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a safe work week. As always, if I can help you with something, I'm here. See you, Tim. See you guys. Appreciate you.